Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the Shankly Sessions, the Liverpool podcast we bring you each and every week. Fulham 3, Liverpool 2. Again, a really disappointing result. Disappointing, not even so far as the result, but the performance as well. I think in the second half, obviously, we were a little bit better. We were under the cosh. We had to come out and show something really, because the first half was so poor. Obviously, McAllister giving us the lead, the assist by Gravenberch, but what a missile by McAllister. Absolutely phenomenal goal, as good as you'll see this season. But then just so many moments of madness then on 23. Sessegnon getting the equaliser, Kanate poor for it. Iwobi torturing us most of the first half as well. Alex Iwobi, lads. And then Muniz, of course, getting that goal as well. Iwobi with the assist, 3-1. So we knew it was going to be an uphill battle the second half. But there's a time where we can play this patience game, and this patient build up and this, recycling the ball and all that kind of stuff. A 3-1 down at Craven Cottage is not the time to be playing that kind of game. And I thought Slot could have made changes earlier. I was pretty disappointed in that. But I think we also have to have a conversation about Mo Salah, folks. His form in the last, say, month or two has just been horrific. There's been a massive drop-off for whatever reason. And we've experienced this in other seasons as well. We've seen it last season. Really, from the Crystal Palace game and everything, there was a massive drop off and stuff like that. And it's hard to put a finger on it. Is it that the boy has run out of energy because he's been putting in such a shift throughout the whole season? The two PSG games were shocking. The Carabao Cup final was shocking. And arguably yesterday you could argue he was probably our worst forward. And yet he survives 3 rounds of substitutions. And I just don't get it. And we know how brilliant Mo Salah is, and we know, but he was never in that game yesterday. Never in that game, and we've seen it in countless games already. And it's just really, really frustrating at a time where Arsenal the day before slipped up against Everton. We got that fortuitous penalty decision that Everton got. You can argue whether it was a penalty or not, doesn't matter. It was given and they scored and it was 1-1. So that opened the door for us to extend the lead to 14 points and really drop the hammer on these boys. Now I know we're going to probably run out as champions and stuff like that, but there's a way to run out as champions as well. We don't want this to get nervous. We don't want it to get too close. All that kind of stuff. So we really should be dropping the hammer on this when we get the opportunity. So really, really, really disappointing. I thought Luis Diaz took his goal very well. Conor Bradley with the assist. Again, I don't understand if Conor Bradley is fit enough to come on and be on the bench. Why isn't he fit enough to play? Why are we crowbarring Curtis Jones into a right back position? I do not know. But there's a lot of things we would have learned from yesterday and stuff like that. The two boys who contracts renewals are up, are coming up. And we're trying to get them over the line by offering them big money and more years and all this kind of thing. Really, we're very poor yesterday. Konate was poor. Van Dijk wasn't much better. Got away with it yesterday again. I don't know what this deal is with Van Dijk at the moment and this elbowing people, because eventually he won't get away with it. Eventually he'll get a red card and it will cost us a game. And I think it's important to stress that as well. And I think a lot of this is just pressure at the moment because we're there or thereabouts and we're trying to just get over the line. And look, we've been sensational most of the season, but the drop-off since the beginning of February has been glaringly obvious there for people to see. We were never in the PSG games prior to the second leg, second half. And we were never in that Carabao Cup final at any stage. It was just crazy. I don't know what the issue is, and I've been as vocal as anyone about Chiesa, but he doesn't seem to want to use him, or use him when he has to. There's panic stations in the group when we're finishing with 5 forwards up front. And you could see that just when a plan isn't working at times, it's very, very obvious how we try and play. We're spraying the ball left and right. We're putting balls into the box. I'd like to see us play more through the channels and try and pass and move and open teams up and stuff like that, And Fulham are one of those teams that come to play football. They're not low blockers, Fulham at Craven Cottage will play football and will open up. And they did give us chances. And we should have done better with those chances. But overall, it was a really poor showing, considering Arsenal gave us the opportunity to extend the lead. And if anything, we regress down to 11 points now. So 11 points is fine if you can keep it at that and it keeps everything kind of okay. But what if 11 points becomes 8 points? And what if 8 points becomes 5 points? Then very quickly this could unravel. And it'll be interesting to see if that was to happen. Would the boys have the actual the backbone for it to see it through then after being in such a great position? Now it's a difficult one as well because when you're so far ahead, we've been kind of trying to ghost and coast through games by just getting results and ticking another game off as we get closer and closer and stuff like that. But there was glaringly poor performances yesterday. Kelleher with a 5. He couldn't do much for the first one, but I think the other two, they were close enough. He probably could have done something. Curtis got a 5 yesterday in the ratings as well, and while he's filling in at right back and stuff like that, and he had a good game against Everton and stuff like that, you're going to be up for the derby anyway. This was the one that was the real tester, and being up against the likes of Iwobi and also Robinson as well, who I really like. He's a guy I've thought we should have gone in for a couple of times. Really, really good player. Konate getting a 3, just had an atrocious day yesterday. Just settled down kind of after half time, but really, really struggled in the game first half. Van Dijk with a 5, just that Muniz goal was absolutely shocking. Robinson with a 5 as well, really, really poor yesterday. Gravenberch with a 5. Kind of sometimes with Ryan Gravenberch, it's another one of those where the game can just go by him sometimes. Fulham know in terms of the strength of our midfield. So what happens is they tend to get down the wings and bypass it. McAllister got a 6. Great opening goal. Always energetic, always trying to make things happen. Mo Salah got a 5. I don't know how Mo Salah got a 5. You know what I mean? You hear people talking about no shortage of effort and all this kind of thing. Every time a ball went into him, it just hopped off him. You know what I mean? Like we need to stop this. We need to have a proper conversation here. You know what I mean? There's no doubting how good Mo Salah is. There's no judgment here and stuff like that. But for the last month and a half, he's just been non-existent. And to get a 5 here even is unbelievable. You know what I mean? It's just, when you see the likes of, he was probably our worst forward yesterday. And yeah, he survived 3 rounds of substitutions and they took off other forwards who weren't as bad as him. Dom has dropped off a little bit as well last month or so. Kind of hasn't been, imposing himself on the games and stuff like that the way he has shown that strength and that guile and stuff like that. And I don't know what's happened to our press as well. We used to be very, very strong in the press and we've just kind of given up on it. We're sitting back on it more than anything else. Cody got a 5 as well. Tried to get involved, but not a whole lot going on there. Diogo again trying to get involved, not a whole lot going on there. Luis Diaz came on and kind of shook things up a little bit. Kind of exciting when he gets the ball, picks it up and goes on those runs. Nice to see him going outside and inside at times as well, which is something that had been lacking. Harvey comes on from Dom at 55, gets a 6. Very, very unlucky with the one off the crossbar and stuff like that. But again, there's something excited about Harvey Elliott when he gets on the ball. He tries to go forward and create because this recycling is so frustrating. Darwin came on, didn't really do anything, really didn't create anything at all. Conor Bradley came on, obviously got the assist, but gave us a bit of power and pace down that flank and something that we needed against Robinson and Iwobi. Took it to them and stuff, And Chiesa came on as well, had that one chance, was unlucky as well. Leno saved. It was kind of a toe poke really, more so than anything. But very, 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 very unlucky not to get a goal. But there's definitely a conversation to be had now about the front line and who should be out there and who should be starting, because it's kind of like it's really, really blunt at the moment. It's really, really predictable. It's really, really repeatable. And it's just a real concern at the moment if we're not scoring goals, because we do kind of cough up opportunities, and if you cough up opportunities to a front line like Fulham's, who are really, really good, inevitably they will score goals. And if they score goals, then the pressure is on for us, and we can huff and puff. But at this stage in the season, it's been a long season for some of these players and stuff like that, and at times they just really, really struggle to get back into the game. So West Ham is up next. Really, really important that we get the result there. Put the 3 points on the board. Tick off another game and try and get closer and closer. I mean, at the end of the day, 11 points is the gap. Let's see what's happening. Arsenal look like they're going to be totally focused on Real Madrid. Thank God. They got 2 big games coming up against Real Madrid in the Champions League that will distract them. And they probably look like, with those games and stuff, that they may drop points more so than we would, hopefully. And we can push on and put this league title to bed as soon as possible. Because God forbid if we were to bottle this would be the worst in history. We'll be hearing about this for 20, 30 years. So we got to just get this done. So until next time, Red, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, drop a like on the video. We're on the cusp of this league title, but it's really, really important that we just get it across the line. So until next time, talk to you soon, Reds. Up the title winning Reds.